Here we go on our Tuesday podcast, the Hey Mary Kay edition of the podcast. Our Football Insider subscribers had lots of questions, of course, Mary Kay, based off of what we saw this past weekend. But listen, we were talking about this before the pod. I just want to get this one out of the way. John from Fort Pierce, Florida, brought up special teams and how important they are. And at the very end of his question, he basically says, hey, Mary Kay, will the Browns draft a kicker? So let's just get this out of the way. We all know, we all saw it. Go ahead.
Well, my feeling on that is if there is a kicker in the draft that is worth a 5th round pick or whatever the case may be, wherever you would have to get them, they absolutely need a kicker. And I certainly wouldn't be opposed to spending a draft pick like that on a kicker. I don't think anybody would at this point. And I think all you have to do is look at Evan McPherson, the Bengals kicker, the rookie 5th round pick out of Florida, to see the wisdom in it. Obviously, he won the game on a 52-yard field goal as time expired, had another 54-yarder, went 4 for 4. And you can change your strategy when you have a kicker like that. When you know that your money and you can line up for a 50-plus kick and your kicker is going to nail it, especially in difficult conditions, I would be all for it. I think the Browns recognize at this point they need to upgrade, and they'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the guys that went after Evan McPherson. I don't think the Bengals are missing. I don't think they're too disappointed that they didn't grab Tony Fields, who won a few picks later, instead of taking that kicker a few picks ahead of the Browns. My thing is, look, we all know it. The Browns need a kicker, right? We know this. Everyone knows this. We all saw it. I think more importantly, think about what happened before those guys stepped up and made those kicks. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow had that interception, right? They got the interception. And you just knew, whoops, Tennessee, you screwed up. You gave Joe Burrow a chance, and he made the one throw he needed to make. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford, same deal. Somehow, right? We can say, oh, Tom Brady in the Bucs offense, he screwed up. He scored too fast. And Matthew Stafford hits Cooper Kupp for that deep pass. Even Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds left made those 2 plays to get the Chiefs into field goal range. So yes, the Browns need a kicker, but Evan McPherson didn't put himself in field goal range. You need a lot of other pieces around it too, and people who can make plays to put those kickers in range.
Oh, that is so true, Dan. And I just think the number one thing that has to be on the minds of the Cleveland Browns and all of their fans and all of the media that cover the Cleveland Browns this past weekend, I think we were all thinking the same thing, is they need elite quarterback play. For the most part, you're not going to get this far and you're not going to get to the Super Bowl unless you have some really good quarterback play. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo over the weekend was the exception to that rule, but that really was mostly because partly because of the conditions, I think, in Green Bay, and also because of 2 complete and total special team screw-ups on the part of the Packers. But for the most part, to consistently contend and to get to this point, all you had to do is look at that Josh Allen game. Look at what some of the things that Joe Burrow did. Look at Patrick Mahomes, and you can see the blueprint. You have to have good quarterback play. The Browns need an upgrade in the play of their quarterback, whether it's Baker-Mayfield or somebody else. It's got to be better.
Okay, so I think you just answered this question, but we're going to throw it out there anyway to keep going down this road. John C. from Westlake. Hey, Mary Kay, having watched the games this weekend, how do you feel about the Browns right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, I really strongly felt that they've got some work to do. They have some work to do to get their passing game up to the standards of 2021, 22. They're not there. They're not there by any stretch of the imagination. And they really are going to have to try to determine if they think that Baker-Mayfield can hang with these AFC quarterbacks, because look at where that bar is set right now. So maybe they won't be able to upgrade. Maybe Baker is actually really, truly coming back. But if he does, he's got to be way better. And how are you going to know if he's going to be way better when he can't even start throwing the ball until April? So that's going to be another thing to keep an eye on. But it really, truly made me think, Dan, that more so than even when Andrew Berry first said it, that he had to say what he said about Baker Mayfield and fully expecting him to be the starter next year. if you don't toss your hat into the ring for an Aaron Rodgers or a Derek Carr or any of these other quarterbacks that might become available, then you really are doing yourself a disservice. They have to do that.